Yeah, so hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. And today we're going to be looking at discussions for our Clinked 101. So today you've got Olivia and myself to talk you through the discussions functionality in Clinked. And this is our agenda for this afternoon. So as you can see, we've got what is a discussion, how to create a discussion, how you would add an attachment to the discussion, and then how you would apply permissions and how to filter these discussions. And then we'll just put you towards our resources as well, because that can be quite handy for you to know about at the end. And then we'll have our usual question and answer session. So if you have any questions as we go, feel free to drop them in the chat box. But yeah, we'll have the session at the end where you'll be able to unmute yourself and ask questions or ask them in the chat. So firstly, I'm just going to show you where you would find the discussions in Clinked. So as you can see where the arrow is, this is from the view of a group homepage. So you just need to go to your group as you would usually, and then just click into this discussions icon where the arrow is. And this will come up with the actual, your current group discussions that you have in your group. So firstly, I'll just explain what the discussions is and how you can use them within Clinked. So a discussion is basically set up to be like a forum page for your group. So this is a place where members can come to collaborate and have ongoing discussions, whether this is with internal teams or clients. And these conversations can be private, or they can be open with anyone within the group, but you can do that via permissions, which Olivia will talk about later. You can alter those. And members can basically use discussions to discuss anything they like. So as you can see here, we've got the example of a project planning discussion. So say it was for a new project planning, you could like come up with a discussion there and then have those ideas going forward. Or as you can see at the top, anyone knowing any good SEO agencies. So yeah, it can be quite useful for like a wide variety of things, especially at the moment with the remote working situation. It's a good way to cut down on the email chains and stuff like that, and just have a place where you can reference, and you can also add like tasks into it and files and stuff like that. So it's a good place to be able to collaborate openly about ongoing discussions with your team and clients. So now we're just going to look at how you would create discussion. Some of you may know this already, but I'll just go through it in case you don't. So it's quite straightforward. You just need to navigate to your discussion. And then at the top, you can see there that new discussion button is where the arrow is. So you just need to click on that, and then that will come up with this page where it says new discussion. And then you just need to type in a name where it says enter discussion topic. And then, yeah, you can add in your discussion where the yellow is. And then you've got different formatting options as well. So you can see you can edit things, and you can insert things, whether this will be a picture or a link or something like that. You can do that here, or a video. And then you've also got formatting options. And on the right, just on the second line, you've got that link, and that's where if you wanted to attach a URL link, that's the thing you would need to do. So I'm just going to give you a bit of context for an example where you could use that. So say you were having a board meeting and the directors decided they wanted to have a formal dinner afterwards. You could use that link thing that I just pointed out to suggest like places and attach those links, so then people in your team could click directly onto that and have a look at the best option, and then they could just reply with their suggestions. And then we also have the enter tags bit at the bottom. So say you have someone in your team, I'll just carry on with this example. Say you have someone in your team who works on the events for the team, or is like the general admin and arranges travel and everything like that. You might want to, if you're arranging a dinner and you have some suggestions, but she'll be the one actually booking it, you could tag her in the enter tag section. So she'll get that message straight away. So that's quite a good thing that you can do. And then you just need to make sure that you press the post button at the bottom. So before, just to make sure it's saved, make sure you press that post button, which you can see there on the screen. So now I'll just take you through how you would attach an attachment to a discussion. So as you can see here, you just need to again like click into it, and then all the different settings are at the bottom there. So where the red arrow is, that just points to the attachment section. So the attachments can be anything you like really. So whether this be something from your own computer or Google Docs, you can also use that, or something from a file from within your Clinked account, or a whole folder from your Clinked account, which you can see there with the policies and procedures. That's something you can do. And as we saw earlier, Olivia and Annabelle were having discussion about the which product would be best to use. So they could do that here and then maybe upload a file with the product information. And you can also use this, it's quite a good one. The files was quite good for using internally. So say you needed some minutes to be reviewed before sending over the final version. This is where you could say upload your most recent version, and those you're working with could review it, and you could be having the conversation about the changes you need to be put through. And then once that was done, you can mark it as something to do with the discussion, and then the next steps would be able to be carried forward. But it's quite a good place just to have as a reference as well, because obviously email chains can get quite messy. So it's quite good to have a place here where you can add folders and collaborate with folders that you actually are using and Clinked already as well.
Okay, so I'll just talk you through how to apply permissions to a discussion. Permissions are really useful if you'd like to have a private discussion or a discussion with specific team members. For example, in the previous slide, myself and Annabelle, if we needed to discuss the SEO project privately until we had an outcome, this is how we would do it. So to apply permissions to a discussion, firstly, you need to create the discussion and post it, and then navigate to the discussion and open it. And when you open it, you'll see the permissions section down here where the arrow is pointing to. And you'll be able to select the permissions that best suit your content. So if you'd like to assign permissions to a specific person, then this is how you would choose them from here. And then you can also give them different permissions options here. So we've got view and reply, view, reply and delete, and administer. The good thing about this also is you can set different permissions for different people on one discussion. So say you wanted Annabelle to be able to administer this, you could add her, you could give her the administer rights. And then if you wanted another person to also be able to see this discussion but not comment on it or do any sort of administration around it, you could add them again and add them different capabilities. So that's the nice feature with the permissions. It doesn't have to be the same across the whole board. So with the permissions also, we do actually have a webinar specifically around permissions. So if you wanted to have a look at them, have a look at that, you can go onto our website. And we also have an article on permissions for you that can help you sort of through permissions through all of the tools, so not just discussions. And how to filter discussions. So the filter is really handy. So say you have 100 discussions going on. We do have some clients who use the discussions tool heavily on a day-to-day basis. So the filter option for them is great to be able to narrow down their search. We do have a couple of filter options available. So the search bar filter at the top is the first one. It's search by the name. So for example, you would put in SEO agencies if you're looking for that specific discussion. And then we also have the drop down filter. So to enable that, you just need to select this little button on the side here where the arrow is pointing to, and that will bring up this drop down box. And the drop down box gives you the options for last modified, date created, and name. So that just helps you narrow it down just that much more, just in case you do have a lot of discussions going on. And I'll just let you know about our resources. So resources are really handy. We've got a lot of articles and videos that will help you to set up your portal, but to also just help you manage it from day to day. So first of all, our help center here is in the drop down box under your name. Just if you select help, it will take you to the help center, and that basically has lots of articles on not just discussions but all of our tools in there, and just how to manage your account. And then we also have the feature request section here. So if you have any suggestions or any requests that you think would be good to have in the portal, or you just think would be a nice feature to have, you can put that in there. And then also you can up, like, and vote on other people. So you can have a look around the feature request board, and if there's something that you think aligns with what you would like to request, instead of writing your own, you can just go in and vote on theirs. And the ones with the most votes, obviously, the ones that we look at more. So yeah, feel free to pop any suggestions in there. We do have a weekly blog on our website where you can find new feature releases as well, and previously recorded webinars. So for example, this one will be uploaded onto a blog, so you can have a look. And we do also have a YouTube channel with lots of helpful videos in there too. And if you have any sort of technical queries or any questions regarding the portal, or need any technical assistance, we do have a support team, and you can contact them at support@clinked.com. That's support@clinked.com. So that actually takes us through to our question and answers for today. So if anyone has any questions they'd like to ask, feel free to pop them in the chat box, or you can take yourself off mute. Oh, we do have a question already. So can we assign the permissions to a group, or do we have to add them at one time? So within the discussions are specific to each group. So it would be applying the permissions to them discussions within the group. You can't sort of set them as a whole, if you see what I mean. Perfect. And any other questions? If we upload a file in discussions, will it dump it into the file section? Oh, we upload a file.
No, I don't think it should. I think it should just stay within discussions.
Yeah, they'll just sit in the discussions page. Sorry, I was reading that and another one came through. So we've got another one here. Are there any other functions or features that you're planning to further enhance discussions? Well, we do have obviously our feature request board that we have a look at. And if there is some on there, they will sort of be looked at, but there's nothing necessarily that will be in the next few weeks, but there might be something potentially coming out in our future iterations, but I can check that for you.
And yeah, in terms of our video recording, yeah, it'll probably be out sometime next week on our YouTube channel, because yeah, every Zoom and not we do.
And I can see there is the help feature request only available to your super admins. No, so this is available to all members, but there is the option to turn it off. So if a super admin feels that they don't need it on the portal, they can turn that off. But obviously, if you want it on, it will be available for everyone. Is that per client or for everyone? Which one is that relating to? Sorry. Is that the help and requests? Feature requests? Yeah. Okay, so that would be across the portal. So if you didn't want it on, I'll just double check that actually, Hannah, is that right? It is across the portal. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's across the portal, but you do have options in your settings to turn it off. So say you didn't want your clients to access the help center, you can turn that off in account settings. But yeah, by standard it is it's always there on the drop down.
And we had another question there. Will the discussions come up in the mobile app? Yes, they come up in iOS and Android, so they're available in both.
And set permissions.
Is the ability to set permissions on discussions only for admins or users with certain permissions? So all of the all of the types of members will be able to view, but the people that are able to set the permissions would be the group administrators and the content contributors. Just see if there's any more questions coming up. Yeah, we do actually also have a help centre coming out soon. If they want to use that internally, that'll be the help centre on the Clinked website. So we'll let you know when that's gone live.
Yeah, I think we just got a final question about using chat. So this is if chat discussions can replace chat. I think like most of our clients would use chat alongside discussions, but you could use discussions as your whole chat if you wanted, because you can set permissions of them, make them private. So yeah, it's basically you, but yeah, you can. Discussions is really good if you want to say add an attachment or just cut down your email chains. It's probably the best option to use.
Yeah. And also with the chat feature, it's not in the audit trail as well. So if you have that switched off, then so if you have the chat switched off and you want to keep an audit trail, I'd refer them to use the discussions. Yeah. So does anyone have any more questions at all for this session? Just give it a few more seconds. No. Okay, well, I think with that, probably the end of the questions. Although, as I said, if you do have any more questions or any technical queries at all, you can contact us at support@clinked.com. So with that, thanks so much, everyone, for joining. I hope it was really helpful for you today. Yeah, thanks.